Hi, everyone. Mystic Cassandria. Welcome to Alphawisdom and number 150. Okay, the topic for this week is the headline, how we think. There's so much involved with it besides how we think. It's also why do we think the way we think? Okay, without further talking, we're going to be looking at several examples to help you understand this. Now, most of these examples will be an actual photo. I have prepared illustrations for you periodically, but it's time now, when they're available, to see what's going on. Now, for people who are new, there are many lines in the hand. These lines are the major lines. Last week, we talked about this line. That's the lifeline. This week, we're talking about the line just above it. This is the headline. How we think. Line can be shorter, longer, in pretty bad shape, or in good shape as it is here. Okay? So that's basic, but let's go on. Leave the basic and take a look at this. Here is a photo of two hands. Same person, left hand and right hand. Okay? Now our focus today is on joined or independent of the lifeline. This line is the headline. Okay? And join means right in this area. Do you see one line here? And then it seems to separate into two lines. That's what we mean by joined. Here it is here. Join. This line I've drawn so you can see where it separates. Okay? All right, that's what we're focusing on, the join. The first few photos will be on lines, headline, and lifeline that are joined together. Here it's joined. Okay? And the joining separates somewhere around here, almost going to Saturn. So far, this is pretty average. Okay, if it's joined, it may stay this long or shorter. Okay, let's take another example. Here is the lifeline. Now, on the example that I showed, the illustrated, this curves down. So the lifeline can curve, or as in this example, or go straight. Quite normal, okay? But you see it's joined here, and the cutoff point is about here, almost to the end of the little finger, but more still, I'd say around age 17. Around age 17, the person decided he wants to think on his own, be independent, all right? So we have that one. Let's take a look at another one. Now with this one, sometimes you'll see this. It looks separated, but remember we're going as far as we can and see. And there is a thin line here. So the separation started around age 5. Right here in the center. Around age 5 for this person, this gentleman here. This is a man's hand, okay? And you can see this dips down, but we're not talking about the dip today, okay? Let's go on. Here's another example, joined, and the line is straight. Remember I said it could be curved down or it could go straight. Now, here we see this is joined here. You don't see two lines, just one. So we know it's joined because the headline always starts over here. All right, here we are. Separation is here, around age 19. Close to age 20, so it may be 19 and a half, but we're good with 19. So it takes a person in their own time, what their destiny is, to determine when it's time to be on your own, to think on your own. So let's find out something about the people who have the joined headline to the lifeline. It starts a step. We start to step carefully into new situations and make most decisions with caution. We keep within our own comfort zone, preferring to stay with what's familiar. That's your comfort zone. You're not ready to go outside of that. Now, when the two lines cling to each other for some time, or the headline leaves the lifeline further down the lifeline, and I don't have an example of that if it goes further. These are the ones I do have. We have been happy to let others help us run our everyday life. It doesn't bother us. We're very comfortable with that. Very often, our parents were overprotective or even a little heavy-handed. Either way, self-confidence needed to be developed. That's why the person has that joining there, whether it stops here or goes further. When they're ready, you'll see the separation in the hand. Okay. If we have this line formation, we should assume responsibility and face difficulty head on, and should be aware of slipping into codependent relationships, constantly seeking approval, or being non-committal in love relationships. Everything affects things that are to come. It may be that to compensate for this hesitancy, we learn greater decision-making abilities in our later years. So it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. When you're ready to move on, you will. And when you feel you need to, go on and do it. You're ready. You don't need to stay. Okay, now let's take a look at the lines where that starts separated. Okay, let's look at this one. I hope you could see it. Okay, here is the lifeline. Here is the headline. Here is the lifeline. You see the separation here? I drew that so you could probably see. This is the headline. Okay, that's definitely separated. You might be noticing also how this line just doesn't seem to want to stop. We won't get to that today, but we will be talking about that the next time. Okay, so here's a headline, and let's take a look at another one. All right, here's separation. So you may wonder, what about this space here? Where was the headline? Well, the headline was tuning in very well to the family and still thinking on their own. That's why we don't see a connection here with the line. Mentally, there is. It's like the child is learning to make up his own mind, make his own decisions. It's almost as though he came into this world in this lifetime, remembering the independence he had or she had, and they still carry that on when they're very young, and we kind of forget everything once we go past 5. Okay, so that's that example. Okay, so let's learn something about what is going on here. When the lines are independent of each other at the very start, we are self-reliant and develop our own opinions and sense of individualities from an early age and enjoy expressing our own mind. Sometimes our independence is due to what's often termed healthy parental neglect. That means our parents were busy, or we had too many siblings, or we had to look out for ourselves, play on our own, be self-reliant, or act responsibly from early on. We possess spontaneity and grow up with a healthy degree of confidence. Although, if a short index finger, that's the index finger, if that's short, and to determine the height, we compare this height with this one, ring finger and index. If index is shorter, we consider it short. Okay, so we're clear on that. And a delicate headline, if this line is weak, okay, that would affect the level of our self-assurance. Okay. So confidence comes when your lines have good quality and you have moved away from the lifeline. You learn how to handle confidence, or you have it from an early age and you have plenty of practice to be strong, self-confident, self-assured. Okay. So this ends our lesson for today. Continue to look at your hand and don't be afraid to look at others' hands. You should have a little confidence. Have a little confidence. Practice. Okay, if you like this video, give a thumbs up, share, and of course, subscribe. Thank you to the new subscribers. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay happy. Love and light.